Good evening, everyone. I'm Jackie Bang.
And I'm Eric Rung. Taman has the evening off. We begin with some breaking news tonight. 3 U.S. troops are killed and dozens more injured in a drone attack at a U.S. base in Jordan near the border with Syria. In a statement, President Biden blamed the attack on Iranian-backed militias and vowed to take action. Similar drone attacks at other U.S. bases in the region have been blamed on those militias, but this is the first time U.S. troops have been killed since Israel's war with Hamas began.
Joining us now to talk about this, terrorism analyst Tom Makaitis. Tom, as Eric just said, we have had attacks, about 160 of them. U.S. and coalition forces attacked, minor injuries reportedly. This is the first time they've been killed. Is it surprising to you?
No, it was only a matter of time before it would, because the level of violence has been steadily escalating throughout the region, and we have a lot of forces on the ground there. This kind of looks, by the context to me, to have been some sort of special outpost, special forces outpost along a very significantly traveled route. And apparently they used a drone that beat the air defense system and got the attack in, and unfortunately took the lives of 3 service personnel.
Tom, how long do you think we see before the Biden administration does retaliate?
I don't think it's going to be long. We're getting dangerously close to a shooting war with Iran, because how much are we going to put up with of this before we go after the head of the snake instead of the tail? There's no question we'll hit the militias, as we have been doing all along. But if clearly they're using equipment that has been provided by Iran, Iran's been making very effective drones, selling them to the Russians. Now apparently they've provided the militias with one. It's very, very hard for Biden to resist the pressure to do something a bit stronger than just striking back at the militias themselves.
And the Republicans are saying, including Lindsey Graham, saying you've got to hit within Iran. Do you think that's going to be one of his choices?
It's definitely going to be a choice. I think there's going to be a pressure to do it. I hope he doesn't, because I don't want to see this escalate more than it has. But I think that is a very, very likely scenario because, as I said, all these militias are cat's paws for Tehran, and they're pulling the strings behind the scenes. So I mean, and they're supplying them. So there is direct responsibility, and I don't think we can tolerate it too much longer.
And Tom, when Hamas first attacked Israel, went inside Israel back in October there, the one thing that the Biden administration said over and over again is do not escalate this in the region, and that is exactly what we're seeing.
Yes.
Do you see what's it going to take to de-escalate that situation, or does it all have to do with Israel and Hamas?
De-escalating the situation in Gaza would be a huge step in the right direction and might have a salutary effect. Iran does not want a direct confrontation with the United States. It's trying to maintain some degree of plausible deniability by using the Houthis in Yemen and now this shadowy group in Syria. But it's it's not fooling anybody. But the first step is to make peace in Gaza. I mean, the situation there is at the center of all of this, and there's no way you can nibble around the edges and expect the situation to improve.
And there are reports that a deal could be in the works,
right?
That there is a 2-month pause potential in the fighting, and that hostages would be released. I don't know. We've seen this before and it hasn't worked. What do you think?
I'm a little more cautiously optimistic here because a number of parties seem to have indicated that it's moving in that direction. That could be huge, because I think what will happen in that 2-year pause is the Israelis may very well remove Netanyahu because he's grossly unpopular. There's a great deal of anger among the hostage families and so on. And he still has not taken any responsibility for the attack that occurred on the 7th. So that you could see some advancement of the cause. Then again, he might very well play, well, see, I got the hostages out, and then all bets would be off. It's not clear how this is going to fold. They're talking about a staged, gradual release and so on. We're not even certain how many of them are still alive, but it's a sign of hope, and stopping the killing would be in everybody's best interest.
Tom Makaitis joining us live. Tom, thank you so much for your insight.